Happy spring, everyone. Welcome back to Celestial Plans. My name is Crystal Cedar, and today we are going to be doing a spiritual elemental witchy pagan plan with me in my custom classic and mini happy planner in the 2022 Wee Moon Datebook. Things are definitely rocking right now as we are currently in a period of Mercury retrograde. We just experienced the total lunar blood moon eclipse, full moon eclipse, on May 15th, and those energies are underway. And we're also experiencing this week, at the time of this filming, the transition of the sun in the sign of Taurus, earth element, moving into the air element sign of Gemini, which I will get into a little bit later when we go over the elements of the week. But this will actually be not a processing video. I will be linking my last processing video in the information below for those who would like to see what my process is as far as translating the planetary transits that are found in the Wee Moon Datebook. But this will just be a summary and review of the daily elemental energies every week for the rest of the month of May and into the first week of June, specifically until June 5th, because that is the week that Mercury retrograde ends. And so this is my spiritual planner. I'm still using the same one. It's an A5 cover. This is a modified Happy Planner Classic with one disc removed and trimmed down into an A5 size. At least I think this is an A5 size. I don't really actually have an A5 planner. This is from Carpe Diem, and I did get some inserts, but the dividers were way too small, and I don't like a lot of margin space, so I've made a lot of my own custom dividers using stuff I have. And for the spring, I decided to use a piece of scrap paper. This is Frank Garcia, and I believe this is by Primo Marketing, featuring Frank Garcia, and this line was called Moonchild, and I believe this one is already retired. This artwork just automatically resonated with me. I love kind of this realistic photo, kind of like with etherealness layered above it. I call it like boho kind of ethereal editing. And this line was called Moonchild because my sun sign is actually in Cancer. I was just like, yes, buy all the scrapbook papers. And so this is what I bought during the pandemic, during the lockdown, and I'm so happy that I get to use it now because it's not doing any good just sitting in a storage box. But this is the front of it. It was actually 12 by 12, so there was definitely more cute artwork on there. And then on the reverse, what I also love about the Prima Marketing cardstock is that it's double-sided, printed double-sided. So this is a magnified kind of graphic of a fluorite crystal, and this is a real life fluorite crystal, which is kind of cool. And I was like, ooh, that's a sign. I definitely need the transmutation of funky energies inspiration on the cover. So this is my new cover sheet. And then I still am rocking my sticker sheet, Happy Planner guide sheet that nobody really uses for stickers. And I use it as a cover to kind of protect that. And I have some sticky notes. I have the moon map or the moon calendar from the Wee Moon. For those who have a Wee Moon, this is located on page 220. It's a really great tool where you could track the moon phases and also write in any important transits that you may be tracking and or events. Like I recently had an event and I was like, dude, is that super far away from the eclipse? And sure enough, it was. But it was nice to be able to look at this and automatically see what the moon phase was and to write plans into it. I still have my eclipses page. This is located on page 14 of the Wee Moon Datebook, and I can't believe we're here already. When I started this Wee Moon journal, it was December of 2021, and I was dreading this period of time, but now that we're here, I can't believe that we're actually here. But here it is. So this was the eclipse, the blood moon full moon eclipse that happened on May 15th. That was on Sunday. And then this is the period of Mercury retrograde, which started last week at the time of this filming. So that goes until June 3rd. It started on May 10th. So we in the thick of it right now. I decided to take a break of grace in the month of April. So I was not really using this planner at the time. I wasn't checking the elements. I was very, very busy holding space for my friends that are in the territorial defense units in Ukraine at this time. And April was really active. It was really, I would say probably the end of March and the beginning of April were like the most tumultuous times and the most drained I have been in a long time, holding space for my friends. Especially, this is the first time that I'm holding space for my energy workers while they are actively on an infantry front line in an active war. Like I've had friends on deployments and loved ones on deployments before, but not this close. And so I gave myself grace. I skipped all of April. I barely made it through March, and I went straight to May and started this new kind of like coming back to doing the elemental energies on Bealtaine, which we celebrated on May 1st or on May Day. So that's the first page. This is the last page of April here. Some may call it Beltane, but I was corrected a long time ago by my elder witch, and she said that we're going to be pronouncing them in the traditional Irish ways, because she's Irish, like hardcore, like Irish, like IRA Irish. And so she's the one that taught me Bealtaine. That's the way that we're pronouncing it, or I'm pronouncing it. So beautiful poetry here. And then I am using a mini happy planner to note all of the planetary transits. So see, this is the month of May. I was going to be doing this in the moon phase calendar, but I think I kind of like having, where is it? This, I was going to put it all of this information in this. I might do both, but I just kind of like how straightforward this is. This is May 10th when Mercury retrograde began. This is May 15th when the full moon, blood moon eclipse happened. And then the yellow just indicates the period of Mercury retrograde. And then I filled in the extra days here at the beginning of June when Mercury turns direct, the sun in Gemini at that time. So I don't know if Mercury will be also in Gemini at the time, but that's when it's turning direct. And here is a beautiful page on Bealtaine, and this is on page, okay, that gets kind of trippy when you don't know what page it is, 82, 81, 80, so page 80, and then this is on page 79. Wow, we're on page 79, but it has a really beautiful description of what Bealtaine was all about, which is now 2 weeks ago at the time of this filming. So this is for those who still want to back plan. These were the elemental energies. If you want to stop and pause and kind of write it into your monthly planners, is what I recommend. So here are the energetic energies for the first week of May. After this one, I'm going to be using timestamps for the current and upcoming elemental energies, starting from May 16th through May 22nd. So this is just for back planners right now. So this is going to be for the week of May 1st. We can go all the way to May 1st, because I have that page here. From May 1st, May Day / Bealtaine, until May 8th. So if you want to back plan really quick with me, the elemental energies of May 1st was earth, fire, and water. So green is for earth, pink is for fire, blue is for water, and then this gold color is for air. And then we get into the actual month of May. We have on Monday, the elemental energies were earth, fire, and air. May 3rd, Tuesday, fire, water, air. May 4th, Wednesday, air, earth, water. May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Thursday, it was air, water, and earth. On May 6th, Friday, it was water and fire. On Saturday, May 7th, it was water, fire, and earth. And then on Sunday, May 8th, it was fire, air, and earth. So that was Sunday the 8th. Sorry about that. So if you'd like to pause and kind of back plan in your wee moon, or if you'd like to draw it into your monthly calendar or your monthly planner sheets, please feel free to pause right here. And then we're going to get into the next month, or sorry, the next week. So sorry, this was also on pages 82 and 83 of the Wee Moon Date book. And then this is my receipts if you want to pause and check that out as well. This is a little calendar system at a glance that I kind of devised for myself, but it might be handy for other people. This shows the elemental energies at a glance so that if you know yourself and you're trying to energetically balance yourself elementally, you can see the days that you might need work. Like, for example, I really have to concentrate on the days that do not have earth element because I need to be grounded and centered in the energy work that I do. So I know then on May 3rd and on May 6th that I really need to put an extra effort on grounding and centering and earth elemental energies. So it might be earth elemental energies that I wear as far as crystals go, or maybe crystals that I carry or put on my work desk if I'm going to be sitting with clients. And then these are the kind of breakdowns, the planetary transits, because I know there's got to be some nerds out there that appreciate this. All right. Okay, so that was the first week of May. For Bealtaina, I was still working, and I currently am still working with the Dark Water Goddess Marzanna. She's also named called Morana or Mara. She has several names, but they all start with M. And she is the dark goddess that symbolizes the transition of the dark of winter into the beginning of spring. Morana or Marzanna, I've been calling her Marzanna, has been really helping me with teaching me how to have kind of balance, emphasis on balance, because she is about the balance of the seasons as well, and also how you cannot have a new bright beginning without also having closure to an end, or having closure and an ending to a shadow. So you can't have light without shadow, and you can't have shadow without light. So that's what she's been teaching me, especially in this kind of like unique position of holding space for my friends, and just kind of overall making sure that if I know energetically I can't handle something, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna have grace, and I'm just gonna be like, no, dude, I don't have it. Sorry. This is created by a wonderful artist named Svetlaya777 from DeviantArt.com, and I'm going to be putting her information here on the screen so you can check out her beautiful artwork. And what I kind of knew, but I kind of forgot as well, was that in this piece of artwork that she did on March 20th of 2013, there was an eclipsed full moon here. It wasn't a blood moon, but it was definitely an eclipsed moon. So it's very, very telling and interesting times, especially from 2013. Very, very. So I'm still working with Marzanna. I'm also still, for those who watched my last video for Ostara, which was a while back, is rosemary. I am still working with the plant medicine of rosemary. I have a beautiful, I think she's maybe 7 years old now, rosemary shrub who has now decided to hopefully become a tree. Her name is Rosemary Baby. She's my first plant baby, and she is in my garden. She started out as actually a small little potted rosemary about this size when I first purchased her at Trader Joe's, and now she's like this huge, beautiful, voluptuous rosemary tree. But that's where I've been getting my rosemary from. So that is the first week of May. And then we're moving on now to the second week of May. This is for back planning again, and this is going to be the week that just passed at the time of this filming. That included the blood moon eclipse. And for that period, there was a lot of other planetary things going on. So we have the beginning of Mercury retrograde right here. That was on the Tuesday, May 10th. And then this is the blood moon eclipse on the 15th. This is the receipts or the transit sheet if you'd like to pause and kind of note that if you would like to, if you need to. This again is back planning. And then the timestamps are going to start for the current weeks after this week here. And this is the setup for that week on page 84 and 85 of the Wee Moon Datebook. If you'd like to kind of write it in, I kind of put mine right here next to the actual date, because then that frees up the box for any information that you want to write out for yourself. I was originally putting it down here, but then there's these crazy days where the transits took up like all the way through, and so up here is a little bit easier for me. You're more than welcome to write them anywhere else. I also color code my elements because I'm a nerd and I'm very visual, and so when I see the pink, the green, the gold, and the blue, I automatically understand, okay, elemental energy, like that's what's going on. So May 9th, on Monday, the Lewin, it was fire and earth. On Tuesday, May 10th, the elements were earth, air, and fire. That was the day of the Mercury retrograde that happened at 4:47 in the morning on de Mort. That's Irish for Tuesday. And then on Decading, Wednesday, May 11th, earth, fire, and water. On Thursday, May 12th, on Derdine, it was air and earth. On Friday, May 13th, it was air and earth again, and that was on Dahina. On Saturday, May 14th, the elements were air, fire, and water, and this is the kind of like the eve of the blood moon eclipse. And then we have right here at 3:34 in the morning, the moon moving into the sign of Scorpio, which is where the blood moon total lunar eclipse occurred. And that was also on lunar Bealtaina. So on Saturday, May 15th, the elements were fire, earth, and water. And that was on the Downing. The Saturn was Saturday. Okay, so the eclipse occurred on, let's see, at 9:14 Pacific Standard Time. Sorry, between the minutes of 9:11 and 9:14, but 9:11 is kind of like what I took it as. I did not see it. Some people in the Bay Area where I'm from did get to see it if you were like south enough or in clearer skies enough. I'm in San Francisco and everything was overcast, and so I did not see any of it. I did see some pinkish fog at the time, and it was pretty bright for how late it was in the evening. But to be honest, it was an energetic moon that I did not want to be under. Like, I did not charge anything. I did not charge any water. I did not work with any candle magic that day. I just like kind of buckled down, and I think I watched Netflix. Like, I just did not want to be outside at all. So this is the second week of May. If you'd like to pause and kind of scribble down the elemental energies, and then we're going to get into our current week. And this is where we are present day. Let me just put this back real quick. I really like the system. It's been working out really well for me. With the mini happy planner page to do the transits, and then I have the Wee Moon to do any journaling or notes that I need to take for the days. So this is going to be these are the elemental energies for the week of May 16th through May 22nd, 2022. One of the notable things that are happening this week is the sun will be leaving the sign of Taurus, which is an earth element, and moving into the air element of Gemini. And every time I think of Gemini, I always think of like summer because it's kind of like school's over, and it's kind of like when everybody starts to have graduations and weddings and stuff. So I don't know, Gemini is a really big summery energy for me. That's what I think. So This is the cheat sheet, quick elemental cheat sheet here in the top box. As you can see, every single day this week has earth element in it. Thank the goddess, because I don't know what I would do once the blood moon eclipse energies really start kicking in. What I have experienced in meditation is that we won't really fully be seeing the real chaos energy as a result of the blood moon eclipse until 48 hours after. So the day that it happened on Sunday, the 15th, there was one unfortunate kind of event that happened in Buffalo, New York. And then I'm noticing that there's definitely some distortion energies happening around right now. And at the time of this filming, we're a full almost 72 hours after that. So I wanted to get this video in so that everybody could get their May calendars situated and then be more prepared for whatever energies are to come. So this again is the planetary transits and cheat sheets. I forgot to mention that the black ink signifies the moon. So I write down when the day's moon position and the sign it's in, and then as they transition, and then also to the time in military time. Nerd points. And then we get into the Wee Moon pages. Again, we're on page 86 and 87 of the Wee Moon Daybook. So for the third week of May, May 16th, we have on Monday the elemental energies of fire, water, and earth. On Tuesday, May 17th, we have fire, earth, and water. Wednesday, May 18th, we have earth and fire. On May 19th, on Thursday, we have earth, air, and water. On Friday, this Friday, is the day that the sun leaves beautiful, grounded, earthy Taurus and shifts into airy, summery Gemini in Mercury retrograde. So that's air on air because Mercury is also to an air element, which might be why the chaos starts. But moving forward, May 21st, we have Saturday, air and earth. And then on Sunday, May 22nd, we have air, earth, and water. And then this day is significant because the Mercury retrograde shifts from being in, it moves into Taurus. I forget what it was in before. I'll probably put it on the screen there. But it's going to be shifting into the sign of Taurus at 6:15 Pacific Standard Time. So I'm hoping that if this Mercury retrograde is a little bit bumpy for you this go about, that when this day hits on Sunday, May 22nd, that this earth element of grounding and possibly a little bit more stabilization really does assist people that are having a hard time this Mercury retrograde go around. The Mercury retrograde that kicked my butt was, let's just turn to it real quick because I'm still traumatized by it. It was intense, y'all. Where'd it go? This one. It was the January 14th to February 3rd. That one kicked my butt. It was horrible. That was an awful Mercury retrograde. There was one that happened in December too that kind of kicked my butt at the end of 2021, but we talk in 2022. So just saying, this one has been a little bit more stable for me because of all the trauma from the previous retrogrades, the past few retrogrades. And so I think I'm a little bit more prepared. That is the third week of May. And we're going to move forward to the week after that. Look at this. Out of the dark. I'm telling you, Wee Moon, you could get hella dark sometimes. Like, it's intense. There was another one here. Also too, there was like a really nice kind of astrological forecast for those who are sun sign Geminis on page 87. And you can pause and read that there. If you are a gem. Oh, hold on. I have to show you guys this because it's hilarious, but not really. Dancing through the apocalypse. It just gives you like those like really bright, sunny vibes. It's, oh my gosh, seriously, with this artwork and this poetry, sometimes it's too on the money. But here we are for the fourth week of May. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, fourth week. For the dates of May 23rd through May 29th, 2022. This is going to be a pretty straightforward week, nothing too crazy, other than Venus is going to be moving into the sign of Taurus, which might be a good thing, and I'll kind of go over that. So here is the transit sheet, if you'd like to pause and make note for yourself. So you can see here that there's just a couple of days in the beginning of this week, not this current week, but the week coming up, in this week that we're looking at, where most of the days of the week will have that earth element, which is for grounding, but there is a lot of fire element and just a little bit of balanced air element. This is now when the sun will be in the air elemental energy of Gemini. And so sometimes after leaving Taurus, it could be more on the fun side, because it's kind of like get-togethers and celebrations of like graduations and weddings, engagements, moving, things like that. But sometimes those events can cause a lot of anxiety, confusion, kind of like insecurities pop up, because the weather's getting warmer, and then there's like a lot of self-image stuff lingering from the pandemic year and things like that. So air element can be a little disruptive, to say the least, especially when it is also during and concurrent with a Mercury retrograde, which is chaotic already as it is. So this is the receipts sheets, and then we're going to get right into the elements, daily elements. So starting with Monday, May 23rd, the elemental energies are going to be air, water, and fire. On Tuesday, May 24th, the elements are going to be water, fire, and earth. On Wednesday, May 25th, the elemental energies are going to be air and fire. Thursday, May 26th, fire, earth, and water. On May 27th, Friday, there's only one element, and that is going to be earth, but that's because there's no exact aspects occurring or transits happening on that day. However, the sun will be already in Gemini, and so I kind of counted that as air. So let me fix that right now. On my other worksheet, I kind of added a small... let's see here. What day is that? Friday. It's a small air. Because that may have an impact on later. So we're doing this live, folks. Luckily, this won't be for a couple of weeks. So I'm just going to put that in small. Because even though the moon's going to be in Taurus, which is Earth, the sun is going to be in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, is what I was thinking. Okay, so then we move to May 28th, Saturday. It's going to be earth and air, and then on Sunday, May 29th, we have earth, fire, and air. And this is like my favorite word to pronounce in the wee moon this year. There's 4 languages that the days of the week come in for the year 2022. It's Spanish, Gaelic Irish, Croatian, and Bengali or Bangladeshi. And this one is in Croatian, and this one is called Nedjelja on Sunday, and Subata on Saturday. But okay, so it was Nedjelja, and my favorite one was Panedjeljak. Panedjeljak and Nedjelja. Learning. So those are going to be the elemental energies for the 4th week of May. And we're going to keep going to our last week, which is going to be the first week of June. It's going to bring us right into June and the end of Mercury retrograde. So just kind of going over the artwork here. I really like this one. This is by Tanya Doms from 2020. Lift your pens, brushes, hands, voices, birth a new design onto our broken world. Make it whole, watch it take form. Together, dance and sing our blueprints into the wind. That is right. Also, like FYI, for those that are not in the know with EuroVision, I'm so excited that Ukraine won because the Kalush Orchestra is bomb. Like, if you like traditional indigenous instruments, modernized with like new beats and new tempos, new lyrics, like, but in a modern way, kind of like, I love Kalush was already really cool. They're like a hip-hop group from Ukraine that my friends introduced me to like a couple of years back, but now they've paired with symphony orchestra members, and they play traditional kind of reeds. I forget what it's called, but it's amazing. If you haven't already, please check out Kalush Orchestra's song that won Eurovision 2022. It's called Stefania, and I'm going to link it in the description below. This is my cat, Koi. She just wanted to say hi. She's also 18 years old. Oh, Koi. All right, so... And then there's the Dancing Through the Apocalypse kind of piece of poetry writing. If you'd like to check that out, that is going to be on page 90 as we move into June. I'm not going to read this yet because I'm not ready. And that's not where my frequency would like to be right now. But here we go, moving into June. So this is my June calendar. This is the end of May that I've written in here. And then I've got the day here when Mercury goes direct in Taurus. Oh, I think we're going to find out this week what sign it's going to be going direct in. So very handy. I'm just keeping it in the front of the month. And this is the actual cover page for the month. Beautiful artwork. I'm kind of really upset that I didn't trim this one down and put it in a sheet protector when I first set up my Wee Moon date book, but after this I will, because it's just so beautiful. It's got Mama Gaia right here in her bag, and this piece is called The Bag Lady by Denise Kester from 1994. So beautiful. And this is going to be for the 6th moon period of May 30th through June 28th. And then it gives us the breakdown of the moons. If you haven't already checked this out in your Wee Moon Date Book, it tells you when the new moons, the full moons, and when there are any sun movements. And there will be in this month. We're going to leave Gemini and move into Cancer as we get closer to July. But that's later. We're going to be going over first the energies of the week. So this is going to be for the week of May 30th through June 5th. June 5th, 2022. And here is the transits cheat sheet. Black is for the moon phases. Really happy to see there's a lot of earth element up here because I'm gonna need it. And not a lot of air. Yay! Air to me kind of is for... It's been giving me a little bit of confusion, personal confusion, and also to just distraction. A lot of distraction energies, and so I don't need that right now. So I love to see all that earth element there. And not too much emotional water energy either. So yay! Okay. So this is going to be the last week we're going to be going over for this plan with me. And we're going to start with May 30th on Monday. There's only one element here, and that is going to be air because it's the new moon in Gemini. Sun is also in Gemini, so it's like just air. Even if there were other elements happening, it's going to be mostly air anyway. That's the dominant. On Tuesday, May 31st, we have air, water, and earth. On Wednesday, June 1st, which is why I put this super holographic washi tape there to kind of separate June from May. June 1st, we've got water, fire, and earth. On Thursday, June 2nd, we have water and air. On Friday, June 3rd, we have water, fire, and earth. On Saturday, June 4th, we have fire and earth. And then on Sunday, June 5th, we have fire and earth again. So that's kind of actually lovely energies for me. If you're an air sign, this one might be a little bit challenging. If you are a water element identifying person, the middle of the week might be a little bumpy because water with fire can be a little chaotic sometimes, and sandwiched right in between is water and air. So just as you're kind of stabilizing from this day, on this day, it hits you again. So just kind of be aware on that week. And again, I'm going to hopefully have some plan with me's where we can kind of go over and discuss the elements, because we're not going to be processing them anymore because we already have them down with this video. So that is going to bring us to my next video, which will include the rest of June and probably the beginning of July. Let's just do a sneak peek, shall we? What does that look like? Look at the art for July, Cancer season, my birthday season. So cute. Yes. Oh, wow. Look at that. Half of June and half of July. That's crazy. And 4th of July is going to be on a Monday. Yep. 4th of July is on a Monday. This year. So, all right. So we're going to put this one back. And again, these weeks will be timestamped in the description below so that you can easily jump to them as you're getting your week planned, or if you kind of want to take it week by week to input the elemental information for yourself, on your digital planners or in your bujos, your grimoires. It's helped me so much to know what the elemental energies of the week are. So while we're here, we might as well do kind of like my thoughts on the blood moon eclipse. Before this period even began of this blood moon eclipse, I was sitting with one of my Hopi elder friends who unfortunately passed away last year. I miss him. Clifford Mahudi, I miss you. But we were talking about this blood moon period specifically because we had been kind of like working together with the last previous blood moon series, which brought 2012 and the ascension of Mama Gaia and kind of like the beginnings of that process. And this moon, kind of like with my guides and guardians, they were calling it the reclamation moon or the reckoning moon. They were also kind of calling it like the slavery reckoning moon because of where the total blood moon eclipse was centered. It was covering the Atlantic Ocean and all of the trauma that occurred 200 years ago when that period of darkness happened in our human history. And so this blood moon eclipse was kind of like the catalyst to the energies of reclamation to come. And by reclamation, I mean the reclamation of indigenous traditional ancient ways, whether that's going back to traditional medicines, traditional ancient ways of ritual that were lost during colonization, especially religious colonization, a lot of connection to Mother Earth and the way that we used to live in balance with nature were lost during that period of 200 years. And add to that war and slavery and oppression of people, genocides, those kinds of things. And so during this reclamation period, this is our chance to reclaim what has been lost from our connection with our ancient elders and Mother Nature herself and Mother Earth to come. Because these kids nowadays, I call them crystal babies. The oldest crystal baby is turning about 18. A lot of them are starting to graduate from high school now and getting ready to go into college or just higher education on their own. And they are so connected to our planet. They are advocates for the earth like no other has ever seen generationally. And they are super fervent about pursuing that in their professions, in their educations, and just the way that they talk. They're like ancient. They're like 80-year-old, 18-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like their maturity level, their knowledge of all things like just cosmic. It blows my mind sometimes, these kids. But a lot of them don't have a lot of presence publicly. Like they know amongst each other and they're like educating each other, and there's a couple of older indigos like me that get to see that and kind of witness that, which is really exciting. But just to know that we are in this period of reclamation and reckoning right now, indigenous reckoning, colonizer reckoning, I should say, sorry. Reclamation of the indigenous and colonizer reckoning is part of the reason why the energies are the way they are right now, and why there are so many turbulent things happening in the world of politics, in the world of finance, in the world of just governments and boundaries and borders and things like that. It's just the reclamation. It's happening. So along with that, during the Mercury retrograde, I'm hoping that everybody can kind of take some of the lessons that Marzanna, the Dark Water Goddess, has been teaching me, as we all witness my cat's back, of making sure that you are practicing self-care, making sure that you're practicing cleansing and kind of maybe destashing or purification of your home and of your things. If you have too many things that have been weighing you down, you can be like me, where you work with simple herbs. I'm just working with rosemary because I love the smell of rosemary. And also too, there's something very activating and very cleansing about rosemary oil. You can use rosemary candles if you don't want to use like actual rosemary. But it's just a lot of activation that I get with rosemary. Something else that I've been working with in kind of conjunction with the rosemary is this green stone here. This is called Kambaba Jasper. She loves crystals. Kambaba Jasper. The circles kind of look like galactic cosmic-y nebulas. It looks kind of nebulous, but it's also for protection. Each circle center is kind of like a guardian eye, and green symbolizes the heart chakra, black symbolizes protection and grounding. So that's the other crystal that I've been working with that I don't think I've ever really shown online before. So Kambaba Jasper, and that's going to be what I'm going to be working with for the whole month. So thank you so much for joining me today for this monthly elemental review for the month of May in 2022. May we all aspire to find energetic balance and connection to our own loving spirit and inner brightness today. Until next time, friends and paws, please take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.